Basically, we discovered that we were both nerds. And hello and welcome to Cassette Take, where you can eject wherever you want, but please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And guys, wow. 2 whole years.
It's been 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years since our little baby of a YouTube channel, a podcast home, Cassette Take, has been around, and you guys have not been forgetting to rewind. Just wow, it's 2 whole years, Annmarie.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about that it has been 2 years just because we've been friends for forever, it feels like, and so to think that
Too long.
we created something 2 years ago and we have stuck with it is just crazy, so.
Yeah, God knows we can't stick with anything, so.
Right.
Can see nothing ever through, man. Like, no works. No, guys, Cassette Take is 2 years old now, and before we get into anything, we just wanted to, first of all, thank you. We know we've thanked you guys for the 200 subscribers, and thanking all of you for rewinding and all that jazz, but again, we cannot overstate this enough. Without you, this podcast would not be what it is. We're not sure if we would have kept going with it. It was just something at first it was for fun, but the more you guys joined in, shared your thoughts, your takes on our tapes, it's been such a joy that we just love continuing doing it. And we hope that more of you join us and continue to join us on this wonderful ride of a tape that we're constantly playing and rolling.
And we're just so honored too because, like, I'll never forget, Ethan and I have been friends for so long, probably 10 years, and 2.5 years ago, we were taking a hike, and I was like, "We both like movies. What if we started our own podcast?" And we're here today, and that's because of you guys, and that's just it means so much to us. I hope you just know that, so.
Yeah, absolutely. So we thought it would be fun if, to celebrate our 2-year anniversary, that we would do a little kind of full circle review here. So we kind of have like a little double feature set up. I think last time we did that was, what was it? That Colleen Hoover movie.
Oh, yeah,
And
Borderlands?
Borderlands. Wow, what a double feature that was.
This one's better, I swear.
Doubly so. So what we decided to do was, since it was its 15th year anniversary, we decided to go see the IMAX remaster of Black Swan, which was actually, I believe it was the first movie that Annmarie and I bonded over to kind of share and really start our love of movies together, this mutualistic, fun relationship we have going on. And we decided, like, okay, yeah, this is great. We're going to start with this. But then at the same time, coincidentally, our boy Darren Aronofsky, who we definitely are best friends with, like 100%.
Him, Maluco Guadagnino, everyone.
Basically, every director in existence, we are best friends
Yeah.
with. So he decided to release a movie concurrently at the same time. His latest film is Caught Stealing. So we also decided to go see that. And we're doing a little full circle double feature review here, and we thought it would be a little fun to do that.
Yes, oh my goodness. So we're starting with Black Swan.
We are absolutely starting where it all started, our little genesis of movie love, in this friendship here with Black Swan.
Oh my gosh, where do we even start? This movie, it's been on my top 5 favorite movies, I think, for since I've seen it, and I think it's always gonna stay in my top 5 after we've seen it again. Natalie Portman's just incredible, like, she really, like, embodies the role of Nina in this film, and I think seeing it again was just a confirmation of that for me.
Care to share with our audience, for all those who don't know, our official title of Natalie Portman's name?
Oh, sorry, Natalie Portman, because she's the best. Am I gonna have to bleep that?
Probably, but I mean, I think people will get it. I must see through the FCC. I absolutely agree with you. Nina is so fully captured by Natalie Portman's performance, and Mia Kunis as well. Darren Aronofsky's direction of those two actresses really is just a wonder to behold, like how they are truly fully able to capture the honestly, I forgot how much of an ensemble this cast was, to be honest.
Yes, because there's so many great actors in this.
Yeah, so, I mean, I didn't even remember that Sebastian Stan was in it, even though it was, like, for a little bit, I'm like, "Wow, wait, what is, Bucky doing in this?"
What are you doing here, sir?
Yeah. And then we had Winona Ryder,
Yes.
which now that I realize she was in this movie, especially with the role that she plays, it was like, oh wow, that gives it so much more meaning.
Yeah, I didn't recognize her at first. I'm like, "Oh, wait, that is Winona Ryder. What are you doing here?" So
So what are you doing in my movie? Come on, man. It just again gives that movie so much more weight and its meaning so much more. And with Darren Aronofsky, he really puts in like a lot of double entendres, a lot of symbolism in his movies. He really leans into psychological thriller aspects that really got me to start really begin my love of film analysis and breakdowns. Just there's more to film than a simple like what is that meets the eye, it's beyond that, and Black Swan was kind of truly a watershed moment for me.
I'm I'm glad you brought it up because we all know I don't do horror films.
You do
I
not.
I do not do horror films, and this isn't really a horror film. It's a thriller more than anything, and it is so psychological, like mental mind breaking, and I love how it's portrayed in this film because Natalie Portman goes through such a arc in this story where it is like that perfection that you're trying to chase after, and then she herself turns into what she's chasing after, the Black Swan, and oh my goodness, it always creeps me out so much, but it's so psychological, it's so interesting that Darren Aronofsky is able to, like, portray that, not just verbally, but, like, visually too, so
Absolutely, and on top of that, just this version being an IMAX
Mm.
remastered just was so wonderfully enhanced. Everything, the performances, the close-ups, the direction, the score, the like again, certain moments that were symbolic. Like you just see so much more with it being remastered in IMAX. And on top of it, with its sound design,
Oh.
I don't think I've heard a moment louder in a movie than the end of the movie where there's a thunderous round of applause without giving too much away if you haven't seen the movie, but I don't think that spoils too much. There's a thunderous round of applause and it just gets louder and louder and I'm like, wow, how much louder is this going to get? Cause I'm actually kind of wanting to cover my ears, like in a good way, in a good way.
Yeah.
But even when it comes to like Dune Sandworm moment or like Oppenheimer and all that, that was Black Swan's last round of thunderous of applause is probably the loudest I've ever heard in IMAX theater.
That's crazy that you're even putting it on, like, the level of, like, Dune Part 2 and Oppenheimer 2.
Right.
Like, that's insane.
You would think a giant sandworm landing on sand would be significantly louder
No.
than just people going, "Good job."
I I also wanna give, like, such a shout out to all the ballet dancers. Oh my gosh, I don't know how you do it. I'm not a ballet person, and every time I watch Black Swan, I'm like, I it's so cool, like, just, like, the way they're able to move their body. I just learned recently, I had no idea about this. Mila Kunis, like, dropped so much weight to play that role, and it's just incredible because, like, I never questioned either of the 2 girls weren't ballet dancers at all. Like, I was like, "Oh, yeah, they're ballet dancers, like, they must have been, like, taught that." But it's just incredible, the performances that are, like, captured in this film, so
Yeah, and they both do capture that whole sense of body dysmorphia and just like body image throughout this movie of how it's used to manipulate. And it really plays again into that whole psychological aspect of ballet and trying to be like the best artistic version of yourself, but like to a certain extent, and like
yeah.
how far are you willing to go to do that? And it's not really the best example to follow if you're in that yeah, if that's your occupation, but it's just such an interesting exploration of that realm, and yeah, I I think Darren Aronofsky, and again, these performances by these wonderful actors just really, truly capture that.
Yeah, definitely think so.
Yeah, so, I mean, guys, Black Swan is just a masterpiece to behold. I'm not sure if Darren Aronofsky has really topped that. You know
I don't really think you could in a sense because he's given such great performances by Natalie Portman. She won her Oscar for this. And I don't know if you could recapture something like this.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, not to say he hasn't made anything good since, he absolutely has.
No, I
Oh, come
No,
No.
I
Okay, honestly, personally, I'm a fan of Mother.
Oh, yeah.
It's not for everybody. That is 100% a fact. But whether you like it or not, it gets people to talk about it afterwards. One of our friends, Cheyenne, she saw the movie, not a movie I was expecting her to go see,
Yeah.
but she, came to me afterwards and we start talking about it, and she liked it because again, this is someone that isn't as into movies as we are,
Yeah.
and she was so interested in just wanting to talk about it and all different symbolic aspects. And this is a movie in which Aronofsky just really leans into his
Yeah.
psychological thriller, suspense, symbolism, and all that. And again, not for everybody. No one's gonna fully agree with this movie entirely, but it is just such an interesting film to watch and experience. And yeah, I think Black Swan has a lot of elements of that, but a lot of the movies Darren Aronofsky has done since Black Swan, even Mother included, just hasn't been able to reach that same level of excellence.
Mhm.
And again, that's no knock on Aronofsky. He's excellent, but gosh, he just made such a great movie.
Yeah, he was able to capture something so, like, perfect. Sorry, that was a dumb joke.
Oh no, it was perfect. The story behind our mutual love of movies and kind of discovering wow, we both really love movies and we both really want to keep talking about movies together. I think it was just we were hanging out one night and we were just thinking of a movie that we wanted to watch, and then I think we were scrolling through the different movies on Netflix. I
Yeah.
it was, and then Black Swan came up, and it's just oh, I love Black Swan, and you're like, get out, me too. So,
It was such a bonding moment. I'll never forget it. I was like, "Wait, you like Black Swan?" And you're like, "Yeah, I love it." I'm like, "I do too. Like, let's do it." And I think our friendship really built off watching that movie because for a while, not everyone's like this, and that's totally okay. You don't have to be like Ethan and I, where we love movies and
well, you should.
yes, but you don't have to be like, I love movies so much, I'm gonna overanalyze it. And I think finding someone like you who loves to go see movies and just hyper fixate on them, that sounded mean, but I'm the same way. And so we watched that film and it became one of our classic films that we watched together. So
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, we discovered that we were both nerds and true, wonderfully hard on sleeve cinephiles
yeah,
for that movie.
pretty much. So when it got re-released 15 years later, I think I bought my tickets on the first day. I was like, "We're going to see this." So
It was kind of like the same reaction we had when we both discovered we liked that movie years ago. Yeah, it was like, hey, I found out, Annmarie, that this movie is coming back out. Black Swan's coming back to theaters, remastered in IMAX for its 15th year anniversary. She's like, get out.
I think I was like, my seat is decent, so you could just find a seat near me. We even got posters. You can't tell, but I'll put it in the screen. But that's the Black Swan posters.
I signed it too. So, oh, and I like how what they did with people that went to go see the movie. Not only did you get the poster,
Mhm.
but they also gave you kind of a little physical ticket kind of looking thing.
Yeah.
It seemed like, oh, you went to go see a true musical or a play or ballet or what have you. So I'm like, wow, they really want to immerse you in this. Hopefully it's not too immersive where things get a little too out of hand. And but it's we're not in a 40x theater. It was IMAX.
You know what? This is just our plea to meet Natalie Portman. Again, I gotta bleep that.
Wait, do you think that would be the 4DX experience?
Yeah,
Natalie Portman.
yeah.
Wow.
She comes in, I'm like, "Was I good?" So, best cinema line out there. So
Individually, like, shaking hands with each person, just like, "Was I good? Was I good?" Yeah, guys, so now, Annmarie, I think it's time to, actually give, after all this time, a definitive score for Black Swan all these years later. So, out of 10 stuffed animals tossed out for the garbage bin,
that's what we're doing, okay.
how many would you give this movie out of 10?
Easy, 10. Like, this is, like, the easiest answer for me. It's on my top 5 favorite movies of all time. I don't think it can ever leave the top 5 favorite movies of all time for me. It's just such a classic, and it really introspectual as someone who strives to be perfect, if that's, like, editing or writing or this podcast, like, I wanna always put the best thing forward. Just see this, like, hyper fixated movie on that and just like Natalie Portman and this just the performance that she gives it just it stands the test of time for me, and seeing it again 15 years later was just absolutely incredible. And so I don't think I can ever give it anything less than a 10. So
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, I gotta give it a 10. It's something that really Darren Aronofsky's magnum opus here. I mean, I always hope his next film's gonna be better, but like as it stands right now, this is his magnum opus.
mhm.
And it is just a movie that really plays into the idea of like, again, no matter what you do, like whether it be ballet or musicals or acting or anything of the sort, you it really plays into the discomfort of what it could entail to try to reach that sense of perfection that we all desire. But sometimes what it takes to achieve that is really uncomfortable to watch and
Yeah.
experience. And with Darren Aronofsky's direction and just visuals here, he utilizes through the performances and cadences of a Natalie Portman, of a Maya Kunis, and the various other ensemble actors in this movie. It's just a sight to behold and a very impressive feat. And it was perfect.
It was perfect.
And especially in IMAX, so everything I just said, everything Annmarie just said, enhance it times 10. So,
Yes.
but guys, that's Black Swan in IMAX. We just love this movie to death so
Yeah.
much and want to know your thoughts on it. So, I mean, have you seen it? Was your first time seeing it this time around in IMAX when it was running for like 2 days for a little bit, remastered? I mean, have you seen it 15 years ago? Did you go on opening day 15 years ago? Whatever your thoughts are, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Emery, what are we fast forwarding on to next?
So we had another movie that came out, and it was Caught Stealing, which is another Darren Aronofsky film.
Darren Double.
Darren Double. That's what we're going to title this podcast. This one was really interesting because you pushed me to go see this film. Again, Ethan always pushes me to go see films. Basically, he's the cinema guy here.
I'm the cinema boy.
Because I honestly didn't really have this one on my radar. It's Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, great cast, really enjoyable, just didn't really understand it. And this movie's very different. Not it goes I think it presents itself one way and then goes a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it suffers from Drive syndrome.
Oh,
Drive was a movie that was advertised as like this Fast and Furious kind of type of movie and like car chasing and comedy, like an action and all that. And then when you actually go to see Drive, it's most certainly not that. It does have like those types of sequences here and there, but it is a psychological thriller drama.
mhm,
And people that went to go see were like, this is not what I was expecting.
yeah.
Caught Stealing, a very similar situation. You see that trailer, yes, it does have a lot of comedic elements in the movie. This trailer makes it seem like a really fun action comedy with like hints of dark elements, but like not so much, kind of like The Roses, where I think it does a good job of like sharing its dark comedic elements and showing you that balance of exactly what you're going to get, and that movie delivers exactly that. Here, it leans way too much into the comedy of it all,
Mhm.
and by the time you actually go see the movie, which, if you're aware of Darren Aronofsky's style, you should probably expect something a little darker, but at the same time, when you market it this movie that specific way, it really is jarring when you get to a certain point in the movie. I wanna say at the threshold between act 1 and act 2,
Mhm.
there's a certain moment that happens that was like, "Oh, oh, we're going this way?"
I know exactly what you're talking about. So the plot of this is Austin Butler is living in New York with his girlfriend Zoe Kravitz, and then somehow gets caught up in this mystery with his neighbor, and not no spoilers yet, but it just like the way I thought it was gonna go just completely swerved. I was like, it, I don't know about you. It didn't really feel Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah, no, it was very different to what he usually does, which was
Yeah.
kind of refreshing a little bit,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it was still jarring to the point again, I think it leans more on the marketing as to why it's so jarring,
Mhm.
but that on top of this not being your typical Darren Aronofsky movie just makes it even more so. So, this movie really also leans into baseball terminology quite a bit, all
Yes.
symbolism, which I was not expecting. There is some, again, imagery in the trailer that demonstrates, like, hey, there's a baseball bat and he's wearing a San Francisco Giants hat,
Mhm.
but it doesn't really explicitly say, like, oh, you gotta like, or you should know something about baseball to see this movie, which you don't necessarily need to, but I think there's a lot of nuances that someone would miss, and if you look at this film on a surface level, you probably would not catch those.
Did you know it's a book?
No, but
Eh,
I'm not too surprised you're saying that because most films that he does, are, I believe, based on
So
books.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a book. And so I picked it up and I started reading it. And it's a little like it's interesting because I don't want to say too much, but I was just kind of shocked with some of the ideas that weren't incorporated into the film.
Really?
And I feel like I don't know if it would have made it like better or worse to say, but I just I don't know. Sometimes it was a short film. It was only an hour 45. And I felt like it could have been like 2 hours with some additional like information added into it too. So
Wow, that's interesting.
yeah. So I recommend the book. There you go.
Yeah, no, that is so I did not know, like, it was I mean, based on book, no surprise, but just
Yeah.
they left a lot on the table, I guess.
Not like a lot, but there's just some details in there that I think would have like helped enhance the story.
How far are you in the book?
Not that far. I mean, just very, very beginning of it. But I was like, that's interesting. Like, and again, like film and books, I'm okay if you like change them. Like, they don't need to be like this needs to be beat for beat. Like, I'm fine with it, change it and everything. But I think where Darren Aronofsky could have made this like, you know, on a level of like Black Swan is just adding more like details into it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking of details, I do feel like that is one of this film's, greatest strengths,
Mhm.
is how visceral New York is, like 1998 New York. It felt like in the vein of The Warriors and, old Martin Scorsese movies, where it's like you can actually feel the dirt and grime of New York, you can feel, like, the personality of it. You just felt like you were there,
Yeah.
and it almost made it feel like it was a jungle gym that you could play around in a little bit. Like one of those jungle gyms that's like, not really too revamped and like refined, but
Yeah.
one that, you would still utilize to, climb the ladders and not worry about falling apart. And here it's just, again, so visceral, so interesting. And with certain camera angles he uses to just like go through certain architecture and just like fly through and zoom in on, and just how he's able to capture that and really make it feel almost kind of like a comic book at times with how certain
Yeah.
frames are put together. But yeah, it's so like awesome how he's able to put that together and really make you feel like you are there.
Yeah, I always say handheld. I know they don't handhold cameras as much anymore, but like those handheld shots, I always appreciate those. And I felt like this movie had some during like some action sequences, and I just always think that's super cool when you can add like different camera angles, but not make it feel like we're just adding this to have it there. Like it feels more like transitional in a way. So
It feels like he had fun with drones.
yes, which I love. So
Yeah, like there's one shot in particular that is so simple, but for some reason it just really works for me. Is the one that there's like this giant globe looking thing and the camera's just coming down from the sky during a car chase, and it's just going through this like little section of the globe coming out, and we're still following the cars.
yeah.
I know, it's like little things like that where we're going through the buildings, going through the claustrophobic areas of certain architecture that you typically wouldn't see otherwise,
Mhm.
because it's not too pretty or it's not, just part of the set. It feel and this movie was filmed in New York.
Oh, it
So
was?
yeah, it wasn't like just a sound stage or anything like that. So it was really well done and you could really tell.
Yeah, I always appreciate that too when they film, like, actually in location or, like, not even on like, they don't need to be in, like, New York, but, like, not on just a sound stage.
Everything needs to be shot in the value, damn it.
Oh god, don't even get me started.
No, but I gotta say another thing about this movie that really stood out to me was the performances.
Yes.
And I gotta say, Austin Butler, he has such a range. This movie really enhances that idea because we've seen him as Elvis Presley, we've seen him as Faye
Rafa
Rafa.
in Departed.
Yes, completely forgot his first name in that.
You could have just said Fade, I got it.
Yeah, so Fade Rafa, and now I mean, quite a few other things too. But here, he just kind of plays more so like a average Joe, almost Nathan Drakey kind of guy.
Mhm.
And to see him play such a more grounded role is so interesting and not something that you would think would be too intriguing. But I don't know, here it's like I want to know more about his character. And now that you're telling me that there are like certain details, even just from the first section of the book
Yeah.
that this movie's based on, uh, probably I would assume revolving around that character, I might need to pick up that book.
This is the other thing, like, I know Austin Butler gets a lot of heat sometimes just for his Elvis voice or, like, dumping Vanessa Hutchinson. I know you, don't worry, girlies, I see ya. Uh, but I do think he is a great performer in this, especially near the end where he kind of switches it up a little bit, and I think he's great. I think he's, like, such a young guy that's coming into his own, and I think this movie does really rely on his acting ability too, which I think Darren Aronofsky is great at. Like if you look at Black Swan and Natalie Portman, when I think of Caught Stealing, I think of Austin Butler right away, and I think he really holds that performance well.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Now, if there was a penultimate performance outside of his that really stood out, who would you say that would be?
It's a shame because I felt like Zoe Kravitz is in it a ton, and I would have loved to see her in it more because I think she just has this like charisma about her that any film she's in, I'm like, she's great. Like, she just knows what she's doing and everything. I really did enjoy her performance, which I know she's kind of like the co-lead in a sense, but I think she's great in it.
Yeah, her not only charisma, but just chemistry with Austin Butler was
Yeah.
so palpable. Like, I wanted so much more between those two characters. And yeah, it's a shame we didn't get as much of it, especially since the trailer really advertises their relationship quite a bit.
Yeah.
Not just for the, sex, drugs, rock and roll aspect, but just again, their dynamic is so interesting and just so unique and distinct and so like uh oh, what's the word? Uh Enamoring,
Yeah.
you know? So just I I couldn't get enough of it, and sadly, I only got so much of it.
I think they definitely wasted some actors here, like Lauren Dern. I think they're just it's too short. I think it just I feel like we've been a broken record. It's too short, but like 15 more minutes, you could have added some more stuff in there. So
I really wanna talk about spoilers with this movie.
yeah,
So, because again, if you've seen the trailers and you kind of heard us talk about it in very vague terms here, there are very specific reasons as to why. And it's a movie that I feel like whether or not you get like a great sense of what it's about, you should still see it anyway.
mhm,
As weird as that is. I mean, I think you should only know so much before you go into a movie anyway. But here, especially, the conversation can only go so far.
yeah.
So before we get into spoilers here, Anne-Marie, I gotta ask you, out of 10, San Francisco baseball caps.
Okay.
How many would you give this movie out of 10?
I think enjoyed this film. I think the ending is what kind of confused me a bit, and so is it the greatest film? No. Is it Darren Aronofsky's best film? No, that's Black Swan. The I think giving this movie a solid, like, 8, I went in, I didn't expect much, and I came out enjoying it, and I think a 8's, like, the perfect score for it.
Yeah, I mean, again, same boat.
Yeah.
We haven't been on the same boat in a while, so
I know, we've been disagreeing a lot.
yeah, usually it's like a point away or like maybe a couple points
Yeah.
away. But yeah, no, this time with Black Swan and again, Darren Aronofsky film,
We
Aaron
nuts.
doubles, we just are in sync. So yeah, no, I gotta give it an 8 because maybe it'll grow on me more with time. But it's a movie that really wasn't what I was expecting, but not like in the best way, but not like in the worst way. And it's still marinating with me. It might be like a little bit of a Superman effect where my score might change,
Mhm.
give it a week or so. But as it stands right now, I gotta give it an 8. It's a fun time. It's a unexpectedly darker time at certain points, and it just really leans into certain aspects that I wasn't expecting and just but still works in a Darren Aronofsky style where it gets you to think and ponder
Yeah.
and have a conversation about the movie, which we will definitely really lean into ourselves as we go into spoilers here. But before we do, guys, those are our thoughts on Caught Stealing, Darren Aronofsky's newest movie. Spoiler-free thoughts. Uh, have you had a chance to see it? Did you like it? Did you think it was way too out Darren Aronofsky's typical zone? Do you think that this was a nice breath of fresh air for the guy?
Mm.
I mean, hey, whatever you're thinking, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Anne-Marie, I think it's spoiler time.
Yes. Okay, so spoiler time. Feel like the mob is chasing after him. They kill Zoe Kravitz. They kill his boss. They kill his roommate or his yeah, his roommate or neighbor. Everyone dies in this film basically. I just did not expect that. I was like, "Oh, like I think that's where I'm saying, like, this movie could have been longer because when those characters died, I was like, we didn't really get to see them in the first place, so
Yeah, I mean, Zoe Kravitz is heavily marketed for this movie.
yeah.
And from the get-go, her chemistry with Austin Butler is just I was hoping we'd get more of that throughout the movie. And she was eventually used as a more of a motivation for our main character, for
Mhm.
Austin Butler later on, and she, gets off later on. Yeah, that would make sense, and I'd feel much more because we would have had more time with them. But I think maybe that was the thing he was going for, where it's like, oh, you only have so much time, and that whole idea with the baseball's symbolism of like, what's it like when you're trying to steal a base and you just want to go home, and you're like
Yeah.
sometimes caught in a pickle where you got players trying to run you down with the ball, tossing it back and forth, and you get to one base, and then now you got to do that again for the next base, constantly back and forth, almost like the baseball diamond is the three-act structure here.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting, and that's an interesting way to go about it. But again, with how this movie was marketed, it really throws you off. So I might need to go see this movie again to really keep my expectations in check the second time around and really get a feel for what it's all about. But again, these are my impressions based on going in with certain expectations based on the marketing and coming out fairly surprised and uncertain about them.
See, the way you just described is nothing I got from that movie. Like, you describing it makes more sense, where I feel like Darren Aronofsky should have described it better like that in the film. And I don't know, it's just, like, at a certain point, like, it's not, like, a bad movie at all, like, I did enjoy it, I was like, "Oh, this is really different than what I thought it was gonna be." I thought it was gonna be, like, more of a heist in a sense, and so when the movie kinda ended, I was like, "Oh, like, that was kinda it was just different than what I thought it was gonna be."
Yeah, and I think it really is enhanced by this idea of how the third act goes down,
Yeah.
where he meets up with the rabbi, or not rabbis, but well, one of them is a rabbi, um, but like the Hebrews, and played by Vincent D'Onofrio, and who's the guy who plays Sabretooth?
It was Vincent D'Onofrio.
Vincent D'Onofrio and
Did not recognize him.
yeah, but Kingpin and Sabretooth, who play the Hebrews.
What's his name?
Yeah, I cannot remember for the life of me. Yeah, they play the two Hebrews. They're trying to get the money for themselves.
So odd. Like, just a weird addiction, I thought.
Hey, anytime you get a chance to add matzo ball soup to 'em,
Oh, yeah.
I'm there. So
It did look good.
looked wonderful. But eat skinny boy.
You skinny boy.
Oh, that reminds me. Sorry, a little tangent here. I was so disappointed they got rid of that one moment from the trailer where it's just like him patting Austin Butler's character on the back and say like, "I like you, Hank," and I'm just like, you took that out of the movie?
That's what dipped the score for you.
Yeah, 100%. Like that to the whole point. No, but it was like, come on, man. Especially with what I think they were going for in that third act, with trying to show this sense of safety, like seemingly surface level safety and
Mhm.
camaraderie, with these two characters, just to find out they're the ones that killed Zoe Kravitz's character, and it's just like, again, that feeling of being on third base, you think you just need one more to go, and you're almost there. What could possibly go wrong? You could still get caught down in a rundown,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be a close call, but, and you can be hesitant, like, "Should I go this time? Should I go this time?"
Mm.
And you just need the right signal to go. Man, once he found out about Zoe Kravitz being killed by them, the people he thought were, like, he was finally safe with, it was, "Let's go ahead, we're going full speed ahead," and crashing into him. Poor mom, by the way. The poor,
That is true.
yeah, I always thought they were gonna go, like, in a John Wick direction with the cat.
The cat dies and he was just lose it.
Yeah, something like that, or, maybe we get Matt Smith's character to be more involved, and
Yeah, Matt Smith is barely in this film either.
yeah,
Lauren Dern is like a end credit scene. Like,
yeah, I was not expecting Laura Dern to show up at the end.
I
Oh,
I think it's her voice over the phone, but like did not recognize it at first. So
yeah, and then you see her at the end when he finally makes it home,
yeah, he gets all
Right.
he gets all the money and then sends it to his mom, and you're like, okay, like I've seen this before. So
Yeah, I mean, and it's very interesting with how they go about it with where he ends up and just kind of like turns out, okay, the game is done,
yeah,
even though it's still going. And I know it's interesting. Those are like certain moments where, as I'm analyzing it in my head while talking to you, it's like I'm still pondering about like, oh, what does that mean? Does it mean like he's done forever, or does it mean like his love for baseball is out the window, or what have you? I don't know. Like I'm still pondering about it. And again, I think that's one of Darren Aronofsky's strengths is through these performances by these great ensembles, he's able to pull together through his great work with the cinematographer. He's really able to capture something great here that makes you feel intrigued and want to have a conversation about.
Do you think there's, like, a possibility for a sequel to this, or
I mean, I think there is a possibility for a sequel, like if you're just looking at it from a narrative aspect, but knowing how Darren Aronofsky works and just the vibe I was getting from this movie, I don't see a sequel,
yeah.
especially with how it's performing on its opening weekend from the box office. I don't think it's gonna make enough money for it to really warrant that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a movie that'll have legs. I'm not sure what its VOV calendar is looking like. So, I don't know, we'll have to see, but
I agree, I don't think it means one, but, I think it leaves it open for one, but it's just not Darren Aronofsky's style to do one, so
yeah, absolutely. Now, Amory, what would you say was your favorite part of this movie? I mean, I think our least favorite part of the movie is probably the same thing, but
yeah, probably I think, mm, my favorite part is probably the chase scene with the Hebrews, kinda towards the middle. I think just, like, the camera angles and all that and the handheld stuff I really enjoy, and I'm always down for a good chase scene, and so I think that was kind of my favorite part, but what about you?
the moment of which he finds out slowly or, like, basically his camaraderie with the Hebrews and how it kind of turns out, like, that whole section of the film was, like, so fascinating to me with how they relayed that, and, yeah, it was just so interesting with how they were gonna go about it and where does this movie go from here at that point, and just the pacing of it too,
Mm,
and the setup, so I thought it was brilliantly done. Now with our least favorite part, I'd assume it being the same thing as Zoe Kravitz's death.
yeah, she just killed it in, like, the first act. It's so quick, so
Yeah,
I bet she only has, like, maybe 20 minutes of screen time?
yeah, I mean, I could have used a little more.
Could have used more.
I mean, again, I'm not sure if that was the main intent where it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
what could have been, and that's what makes you feel more for that character in that moment. Uh,
I'll let you know in the book.
yeah, my favorite part is kind of like where that's fulfilled almost,
Yeah.
where it's like, yeah, her death was not necessarily in vain. Like it caused this great moment at the end. And I don't want to say great because, people die, but like,
Yeah.
a really significant moment in the end that just really stood out quite a bit. So I don't know. It's a very interesting dichotomy there,
Mhm.
where it's the least favorite part kind of fulfilling the greatest part, and their situation there. But I don't know. It's overall, I'd say caught stealing was definitely a worth seeing in the
Yeah.
theater, and probably, on the higher end of, Darren Aronofsky's, repertoire of films.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think definitely, like, it's again, it's not a Black Swan, but I did enjoy it, like, coming out of it. Just very different than how it was marketed, so
Yeah, do you think the score would change for you if you saw it again or, like, had more time to marry?
probably, yeah, I would say the score, but I would say that for a lot of movies. I think the score changes a lot when I revisit it a second time, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one just more so I just don't know what to fully think about. With Mother, there's so many things like, are trying to think about and just so many different aspects to it. Here, it's not as deep as Mother,
Yeah.
but it's deep enough to where there's so much to explore about it, but you're not sure where to explore because those levels of depth are really mountainous and
Yeah.
consistent. So, I don't know. It's an interesting little map you gotta follow if there is one.
Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah. But, guys, Caught Stealing, Darren Aronofsky's newest movie in theaters now. I think you should go see it, Emery.
mhm, I do.
Yeah, it's definitely one that you're gonna be talking about with your friend afterwards. Like, Did you like it? Did you hate it? Even if you hated it, it's still gonna, again, cause you a conversation to be had, which is so great in the world of movies. Because we have so many versatile, differing opinions, don't we know, with some of your comments?
Yeah.
But again, we love to hear them regardless because it's just such a grand open world filled with possibilities, filled with different likes and dislikes, and it's just great to have a conversation about it all because it brings us together one way or another. So, but yeah, that's Caught Stealing. Let us know your takes on our tapes. Again, whether you hated it or absolutely loved it, or maybe you're in the middle. I don't know. Maybe you're caught between two bases, home and third base, and you still try to figure out the right down and hoping for unforced error. But whatever you're thinking, let us know your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Annmarie, I think that about wraps it.
Wait, that's my line.
Oh, shoot. You think after 2 years I'd figure that?
Yeah, seriously. That's right.
All right, guys. Thank you again so much for 2 whole years of Cassette Take. We hope you haven't ejected thus far into this 2 years of podcasting. But whether you have or haven't, please don't forget to rewind. I've been Ethan.
I've been Annmarie, and thank you again so much, you guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you again, Ethan, my partner in crime. I can't believe we've done this for 2 years, and I can't wait for the next 2 years. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So when do I get paid?
Oh,
Love you all.